know.
Plenty of you guys would love for me to just move in and
right, yeah.
Get in line, right?
Yes.
There's only so much of me to go around.
Right.
It was chaotic. We had barriers and little gates and boxes stuffed under places we didn't want them to go, and it was like when you let them out, it was like trying to herd cats. You just nothing happened.
I remember that.
Yeah, and we had they were peeing all over the floor. They were we just had, it was a nightmare. It was scary.
I suspect there was a little bit of a it's me or the dogs type of situation.
Yes.
Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, in my head, yes.
In your head,
definitely.
You hadn't vocalized it yet.
No.
I vocalized it for you.
Yeah. Did you feel that way?
Yes, it was stressful. Like the whole situation was stressful. The dogs weren't listening to us and we had no control whatsoever.
Aneisa, whose idea was it to call Baker's Acres?
Mine.
I remember you're the one that called. You're like, I need some help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I emailed, I think. Yeah.
I think Mark was just ready to throw them out the door.
Yeah. He was like, we're selling these.
Give them back to the breeder.
Yes, why did we do this? This is a mistake.
Why did we get two of them?
Yeah, why did we get two? That was his decision.
That was my idea.
That was his decision.
Mark's
all on him.
decision. Oh, the truth comes out.
Yes, it was.
Is it perfect?
No.
No.
But it's so much better. We have the tools that we need to work with these puppies and, teach them. And, we have more control, like we are in control versus them being in control, which is so much better. So much better.
I think we know how to identify behavior problems that we didn't even know existed before you showed up. We can identify problems, and we can know how to train to take care of those problems.
Right.
Without, too much trouble now, or too much, it just fits into the program that we've got going.
And that's my goal. My goal is to help you guys, not like, obviously you'll never really become me, right? I don't want you to become me. You have to be your own individual, right?
Yeah.
But you now, like Aneisa said, have the tools. Mark, you said you have the cognitive awareness that you can be like, oh, here's a problem. Okay, what would Sarah do?
Yeah.
Now we have the solution. Now you can think through the problems on your own. That's my goal. My goal as your trainer, your dog trainer. I'm not a dog trainer, right? I'm the dog owner's coach, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of like the liaison between the dog and the owner, right?
Yep.
My job is to teach you guys how to appropriately and humanely and what's the word I'm looking for? Effectively communicate with your dog.
Yes.
Right? And vice versa. So that you guys can understand each other.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The puppy day camp was my favorite part.
In the house.
I did like the in-house training that you did, because you
addressed the problem.
It wasn't like we just got a bunch of instructions and then we had to go figure it out.
Yeah.
We were
There's
able
this
to.
big long list of homework assignments for you to do. For the next 6 months. Yeah.
And we were able to do the training that we needed to do, and I think too the different, how you would turn it into more of a game than a instruction period.
Yeah.
I think was very helpful, and makes it easy for us to repeat that as we continue to work with the dogs.
Especially with the boys, our boys helping us,
Yeah.
I was going to say,
I think they enjoyed it.
I personally love working with the whole family, right? That's my gig. I like working with the kids and the whole family. And if we can make it fun, then the boys are going to be more willing to engage in it. And I think most of your boys are actually really good at doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. They're pretty good.
They're excited about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Aneisa, what was your favorite part? Or is it the same as Mark's?
No, it was the in-home. Like at first it was a little stressful, you know,
Yeah.
new challenges and new you know, things that we needed to work on was a little bit stressful, but as we went along, it got better, and I was like, okay, we can do this. We can do these things. So
Did you feel that the little tiny chunks of homework were
mhm.
easier to do as opposed
Yes.
to like, okay, here's this big long list of instructions?
Yes, definitely. I
Right.
need to be one new thing to work
Yep.
on with us versus work on these 5 things. That doesn't
Right.
work. So
I before we called you, we had gone to some online training
Yes.
thing where we could go watch videos and have all these instructions, you know, and that's what a neighbor had recommended it to us, that it was a great thing, you know, for their dog. And we got into it, and it was extremely overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really know what you were doing,
you
and
can ask questions.
you didn't have that in-person instruction.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask questions.
You can
and you didn't-
address our dog's needs.
Yeah.
You know, it was just this is how dogs are.
General sense. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You
But
got the
our dogs
umbrella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our dogs aren't responding to this. What can we do different? You know,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
And so that's what I liked, is the fact that it was customized, should
Yeah.
you say,
Yes,
to
absolutely.
our particular
To our needs.
situation and what we're in.
Yeah.
And you know, like so I think that's one of the big differences that I enjoyed with your program. So
One thing that obviously, as part of your training program, you did receive online videos and instructions
Yes.
and stuff like that, but it's paired with
yes,
the one-on-one instruction. So
yes,
like oftentimes I gave you homework based on the videos and the PDF files, right? I told
Yes.
you, go watch this video, go read the instructions, but then you had access to me to ask your specific questions customized to Shawn and Gus's situation.
yes,
Yeah.
We get questions all the time, and you're going to be top of mind when it comes to reminding people, or referring people.
well, I already recommended you to my cousin, whether you know.
Awesome.
they'll
Yeah,
utilize you
I
or not.
did. Yes. So, and even if they are out of state or out of the country, even, they can always call me. They can do these virtual lessons. We've had to do a couple of virtual lessons because of COVID. So
Right.
they can do that. They can do the online training course. They can have access to call me and everything like that. We don't necessarily have to meet in person. Obviously, it's better if we do. Everything's better in person. But they can still do so with COVID or with sickness or with anything else going on, right? If our schedules don't line up or whatever, we can only have a little bit of time to jump on a call. They can call me anytime. So
Yep.
good to know. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the rest of the world about dog training in general? Should they do that? Should they do dog training?
We had another puppy 4.5 years ago. Can't remember. I think it was 4.5 years ago. And we went through a different company to have her trained, and it did not work out great. In fact, I felt like this other company, I won't name any names, that their way of doing things was not kind, and it was very like drill, like it was like they were in, you know, real boot camp, you know. And I was like, okay, but you know, I don't feel like we should, you know, if they're peeing, you know, on the floor, I don't feel like, you know, it's not a great idea to go and grab them underneath their, what is it called? I can't remember. Anyways, basically we had them come into our home, we went and did the things, and we still had no control and had no, like, not any real skills to use on that poor puppy. And she, you know, she was a diva and she ruled the house, and it was a bad experience. And we were sad, but after a year we finally had to rehome her because we didn't know what we were doing, even though we put, the time and the effort and the money, and we didn't feel like the tools that we learned from them were helpful. Like, were not helpful at all. This, however, was completely helpful. Baker's Acres was a great program, like I felt good about it from the beginning versus the other way.
It was a totally different experience.
Yes. If we had known about your company for 4.5 years ago, we would have used you, and we could have still had her in our home.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's good that we're in a better place, and just having you help train us like has saved our poor doggies. Because we didn't know what we're doing still, because we even tried some of those things that we learned from the other training program, and it still wasn't helping. So
every dog is different.
Yes,
for real, every dog is different. And just like your kids, I'm sure every one of your sons is completely different. Yep. And you have to raise them according to what motivates them and what is most beneficial to them in person. So Mark?
Well, and especially since our dogs were our brothers, I know that there was even more, problematic,
Well, and even those two.
Yeah.
Gus and Shawn are completely different.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we were able to use the program to help us with that. So anyways.
We went up to a friend's house recently. They have 2 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
They got one about the same time that we got one, and a puppy, and they also have another one. And the husband has done a pretty good job training them, but I could see a stark difference in the training. They'll respond to him. It wasn't a family effort. It was very different experience, and I could see that our dogs came out well trained and were able to, really do very well considering where we were at before. So
it really does take a family, doesn't it? The whole family involved.
Yeah. So it's been a great experience.
Yep.